My name's Susie, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use playing cards to tell fortunes and perform spiritual readings in the same way that you would use tarot cards. This is going to be the first video in a series. I'm not sure how long the series is going to be because it's quite a large topic, so it just depends how in depth I decide to go with this. But in this first video, I'm just going to show you the absolute basics. And even with that, by the end of the video, you'll have enough information to perform a very simple reading and answer questions that you might have for the cards. So first of all, a little bit about me. I've been reading playing cards for over 20 years. These are the cards that I use. They're very well worn, as you can tell. And these cards have actually been in my family since before I was born, and I've ended up with them. I should just note that these actually started out as a regular pack of playing cards. We used to take them on holiday. We'd play games with them in the caravan and at Christmas. And I still play games with them now, as you can tell. For me, there's no separation between spiritual and mundane use. But you may have a different opinion on that, but that's up to you. So these are my cards. I should also point out to you that I don't really know very much about tarot cards. I did try reading them in the past, but I just didn't click with them the way that I click with playing cards. So please don't ask me questions about tarot cards because I ain't got a clue really, okay? All I know is they're very different to playing cards, and I'll go into that a bit later. So why playing cards? Well, there's a few reasons. They're cheap, they're easy to get hold of. You can go to any corner shop in the world and get a pack of playing cards. Also, they're an everyday item. So if maybe you live with someone who frowns upon things like tarot card readings and that sort of thing, they're not going to bat an eyelid if you have a pack of playing cards in your room, whereas tarot cards might arouse suspicion. So that's another reason you can hide in plain sight, as it were. Another thing is if you're, say, at somebody's house and they want a reading and you don't have your cards on you, the odds are they're going to have a pack of playing cards in their house. So you can still do a reading. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as it would be with your personal cards that you have that connection to. But you're still going to be able to do a perfectly fine reading. And if they don't have a pack of cards, they can run to the shop and buy a pack, and then you can do one. So perfect. A couple of other reasons why I prefer playing cards myself. I just want to stress I have nothing against tarot cards whatsoever, okay? But I like to use things that are everyday and historical. And in the past, everyone would have had a pack of playing cards, but it would be very rare for someone to have a pack of tarot cards. It just wasn't a common item, and I like to use common everyday items in the things that I do. Another thing, and this is a big thing for me, something I've noticed in the last few years, so you may have had different experience, but I've noticed the last definitely few years when I've had tarot readings, the answers I get tend to be very spiritual and mystical, and not so much like down to earth, real world, actionable answers. It might just be the readers that I've gone to, but I've noticed that it's very much more of a spiritual, like your soul development is the kind of responses and readings that I've had. And sometimes, while that is amazing, sometimes you just really want to know like what's going to happen on my holiday next week. And the playing cards are perfect for really direct, practical, real world answers. They can give you spiritual answers about your development and things like that. But then they'll also say, oh, your cat's going to get sick and a pipe's going to burst in your bathroom next week. So it's things like that. So for me, I like to have practical advice, real world advice that I can action, and the playing cards are really direct. They're really down to earth. There's nothing wishy-washy or, mystical particularly about them. And also, you don't need to be a psychic to read playing cards. Anyone can learn this system. It's really simple once you learn it. It's logical and it makes sense, and I'm sure you're going to realize that as I show you the system. So anyway, The disadvantages of playing cards, there's only really one, and that is that as you get really good at reading them, when you're playing card games, it will be really distracting because you're going to be constantly reading the cards in your hand. You're going to be reading the cards on the table. You can't help it. You're going to be looking into meanings when you're just trying to play, a game of blackjack or whatever. Although on the plus side, I have noticed that since I've become really good at playing card readings, it does help when you're playing games like blackjack, because for some reason I can sense the next card that's going to come up, and I don't know if it's just, I don't know what it is. It's maybe just an affinity with the cards. I don't know, but it does help. So that is the only drawback really of playing cards, is the confusion when you're actually trying to play just a regular card game. So anyway, I'm going to get on with it now. So reading playing cards. Now there's 4 layers to reading playing cards, okay? The first layer is the color of the cards. It's dead simple. The second layer is the suits of the cards. The third layer is the numbers of the cards. And the fourth layer is the combination of the cards together and their place in the layout, which is obviously, we'll come to that later. So I'm just going to start, first of all, I'm going to show you the colors of the cards. Let me just grab my aces, because I don't want you to be distracted by the numbers or the suits right now. We're purely just going to look at the colors. Let me move some of these out of the way. There we go, get them out of the way. Clear space. Also, I'm going to be reading everything backwards so that it looks the right way around for you. So you have to bear with me, because that might be a little bit strange from my perspective. So the first thing you need to know about the playing cards, the very first layer is red cards are good, black cards are bad. Or you can look at it as day and night, hot and cold. It's the polarities, the opposites. So red card's good, black card's bad. So even just knowing that, you could answer a simple yes or no question. You can ask a question, shuffle the pack, pull up the top card. If it's red, it's a yes. If it's black, it's a no. If you want to get a bit more elaborate, you could do a 3-card spread. So if you get 3 red cards, amazing. If you get 3 black cards, terrible. 2 black cards and a red is bad, but not too bad. 2 red cards and a black is good, but not great. So that's your basic colors. Easy peasy, can't really go wrong with that. So, knowing that the red cards are good and the black cards are bad, we can actually get quite a lot of information from a 3-card spread just using the colors. So I'm going to demonstrate for you. So let me just grab another red and another black card so I can show you. So there's a few combinations of red and black cards that we can have. So we can have 3 red cards, and that is everything is fine, nothing to worry about. We can have 3 black cards, which is lots of problems, lots of troubles, everything's bad. A red card followed by 2 black cards indicates that something that starts well is going to turn bad. Okay? And the other way round, 2 red cards with a black card at the end indicates a problem on the horizon. Everything seems good at the moment, but a problem is on the horizon. Okay? If we reverse it, a black card followed by 2 red cards, we've got a problem which is steadily improving. Things are going to improve. If we have 2 black cards with a red card at the end, that's a light at the end of the tunnel. Things do seem pretty bad, but there is a respite coming. A black card surrounded by 2 red cards, so red, black, red, indicates there's going to be an obstacle which you need to overcome. So things are good, there's going to be a problem, but you're going to overcome it. If you turn that the other way round, so we have black, red, black, that indicates problems and only a brief break before more problems. Okay? And those are I think that's all the combinations you can have of red and black. I'm not sure how many that is. I think it's like 9 or something like that. But those are the red and black combinations. So even without knowing the meanings of the suits, as you can see, you can actually do quite a good little reading just from using the colours in a 3-card combination, just to answer a very simple question if you have a problem and you want to know what the outcome is going to be. So that's just a really, really simple way that you can do a quick reading for a problem with the absolute minimum basic of information.